Hey guys, Angela here. I wanted to take this opportunity um, to tell you my story. So, kind of funny, I just got done with church. It's Easter 2021, and I wanted to take advantage of looking finished. I actually did get to sing and play today, so I'm like done up more than I normally am, and I was like, this is a good time to do my story. I'm about to be a little vulnerable, so I figured maybe I'll look finished while I'm doing it. So, and it's actually, I feel like right now is a good time for me to tell my story because I went to church for the first time in a very long time, mainly because of COVID, but there's more that goes into it than that with everything that's gone on in my life personally. But I really just wanted to, because of that, I'm just feeling a little bit more like a lot of the feels going on. So I know that probably a lot of people this Easter day is probably feeling that way. Just we didn't get to do Easter service last year, so anyways, that's actually not why I'm doing this, but I wanted to tell you a little bit of why I am doing Monat and what kind of led me there. So I don't want to take too long and ramble too much, and I just really want to stay on point, unlike the past minute. But a lot has gone on in my personal life. Like there's divorce and unexpected pregnancy, and I'm trying to blend a family, and a lot of loss. I moved 3 times, and it's just personally, I've just been through a lot in the past 3 years. So I didn't really actually look at what was going on with my career. I've always had a really successful salon and business, and things were good on that front. I'm super grateful that God allowed me to have a steady income during all of that personal stuff going on, and I have the best clientele ever. So I have been doing hair now for 20 years, just past the 20-year mark. So a lot of my clients, have been coming to me for years. I mean, I have clients who literally have been coming to me for like 17 plus years. So all to say that they've seen me go through life and all of that. I'm just really grateful that I have such a wonderful clientele, and I mean, I know I'm taking care of them and doing their hair, but they really took care of me. So I'm very humbled to have the people in my life that I do. So with that being said, when things started to calm down for me personally, things started to stabilize and not as much drama, and I didn't have to move again and everything that happened. And I started to look at myself professionally. Things started to get more expensive, and on top of that, the way that our parenting plan happened, and I had to take on the girls for insurance, and that was like it was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, because like financially, I was kind of feeling it already. Like you're just feeling like you're saving less and less, and I'm like barely keeping up with bills. And so I got to this point where I was like, oh my gosh, I mean, and being self-employed and taking on 3 more kids, it was a super blow to my monthly expenses. So I'm trying to figure things out, and I'm like, I can't work anymore. I mean, I did need to raise my prices. It had been a long time since I'd raised my prices, so that needed to happen. And I did that kind of once, but I did it just a little bit. And I'm like, I really need to start maybe putting some value to my craft. I've been doing this 20 years, and I was like that, but I still didn't want to, like, that's not the angle I wanted to take in helping myself out financially. So what I started doing was some online marketing. I did some online marketing courses. So I started that back in January. Right now we're in April. And I just started to get excited about just doing something different and learning something new and finding out how I could what I really wanted to do is make a passive income, which I'm learning that you really have to, that takes years and years. And I still want to work towards that. But at the end of the day, I wanted to take this time when I still had a lot of like hustle and ambition in me and invest any extra energy into, which haha, I don't, have a ton of extra to work with, which is kind of funny with all these kiddos and my amazing but very full life. And so I finished my courses, got all excited about creating this passive income, but then I got lost. I like didn't know. They're like, find your niche, and people are like, well, you know most about beauty, so just make beauty your niche. And I was like, but in how they were teaching it, it wasn't like beauty was the most lucrative way to go. And so I was like, oh, do I want to try something else? I've had a lot of mental illness. I've been divorced in my family and all that mental illness in my family. And with everything, I was like, maybe I'll go the personal development route because there is some. But then I was like, maybe I just need to stop thinking about money. What do I really want to do? Who do I want to help? What problems do I want to solve? That's usually, as an entrepreneur, that's kind of what you want to do, is like, what problems do I want to solve? Well, in the meantime, I had a client come in bringing Monat, and I had kind of brushed her off 3 years ago. I was going through a lot personally, as I mentioned before, and I was like, and I really, really turned off my multi-level marketing. I do not like multi-level marketing. And as much as I see it be successful in some ways, it's like there's a lot of pressure and you have to do this, there's all this quota and blah. And I'm like, no, I can't. I love the product. There's got to be another way, And so she comes in, it's structured as an MLM 3 years ago. And I was like, I don't even care if it's a good product. I can't handle one more thing. And so, she came back again, but she came back in a time when I was like, I need to figure out which direction I need to go. And she's like, so in the meantime, I'm a runner, and I was, I'm really into nutrition and all that. I've got some gut issues. I went to Africa, messed up my gut. That's another story. But either way, I deal with that while dealing with fitness. So I'm always like I'm a probiotic freak. And then I'm always looking for good greens. But good greens are hard to find. They're like, like it's hard to swallow, like literally and figuratively. So, and they're expensive. And I'm like, what's the best bang for my buck? And that has everything I need, that isn't like drinking dirt, So she's like, we got new greens. And I was like, oh, I'm listening. She's like, in a prebiotic and a probiotic. And I was like, I'm interested in that. And she's like, well, here's a basket of hair stuff while you're at it. She's like, I'll go get my greens and come right back. And I'm like, okay. So she goes and she gets greens and pre and probiotic, and she comes back, and I'm like, I love it. And the collagen. I'm like, I don't know anything about collagen, which me telling you about me being in nutrition, I was like, I have no idea what the benefits are of collagen. And Trent's like, Trent, my partner, he's like, is collagen good for you? And I was like, I don't know. Let's GTS, like our little magic rectangle and Google that. So I Googled it, and it's like all these amazing benefits. He's like, so we want to do it, right? And I was like, looks like it. So I put in the collagen and the greens together, and it was so delicious. And I just put it in water. I mean, it's better if you put it in smoothies and stuff, but I don't have time for smoothies. Since I don't do that. So I put it in water, and I was like, this is great. So, and then I took the pre and probiotic, and I was like, great. So I was like, okay, I'll try the hair stuff, I'm like, all right. And I'm not going to try it on my back bar because I'm not trying it on paying customers. I just want to use it on myself and kind of see what it does. And I was like, this stuff. And another thing is that she educated me on how to use it. The thing is, with the Monat products, they're all natural, and there's not a whole lot of products like it. So you have to make sure and use it properly to get the optimal results. So she gave me a little tutorial on how to do that, and I was like, okay, we'll do that. And so stay tuned. I'll give you some tutorials on how to use the products properly. But all to say that I started using it, and I was like, there were some products where I was like, this is kind of comparable. I use good stuff, so I had big shoes to fill, and it was kind of comparable performance wise. And then there was one product in particular that I was like, yeah, I'm not really, I'm like, whatever. And they have the energy thing. For me, it didn't really work, but I know that I was talking to somebody and they love the energy. So I was like, for me, it wasn't working. So it's like, I was like, okay. But then probably about a month in, my hair started to like change. I'm like, and I've got curly hair, as you can see, and I had less frizz. I was dealing like healthier, and I didn't even use anything super hydrating. I just used the volumizing everything because I need more volume. I like, as you can see, I like body and whatever. And so I really started to, I'm like, this stuff is really great. And then there was, even before that, there are a couple products where I was like, ooh, I love this product. Their curl cream and their texture spray just got me going on their hair stuff. And then the more I've tried, the more I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm learning more and more about the science behind it. And so all the products that were comparable makes me lean towards the ones that, lean toward Monat, even though I was using other really great products. Because of the science and the natural ingredients and what the other products are doing to the hair and coating it and all of that. It's, honestly, like, I just will be real with you guys. I'm not gonna like fluff anything, but the coating your hair with all the silicones and waxes that other even professional products do to your hair, it doesn't always damage the hair, but the one thing is that it can be absorbed in by your scalp, and there are things that can make it harder, like when you put heat on it and the blow dryer and all that. So just the more I've learned, the more I've realized the benefits of scalp and hair health. I've always been a big fan of that, so I'll have to say I got really into Monat and I was like really loving it. My hair started to change. The more I used the products, the more I loved them. Loved the detangler on my kids. That was fantastic. And I use like really good stuff on my kids because I've got a lot of girls, and their hair matters to me. So I want to make sure and take good care of that. And so that was also changing, and I was also seeing the benefits of it on my girls. And it was just really, and then I learned more and more. I'm just like drinking the juice, and so I'll just say that I decided I wanted to go ahead and pursue this direction. The more I did that, the more I realized how many people need help with their hair. Even my clients who've been with me for years, I was like, oh my gosh, how have we never talked about this? And I was also surprised at how few of my clients even had heard about Monat, because multi-level marketing, like Tupperware, like everyone's heard of Tupperware and everyone's heard of Arbonne. So like I was like, surely, and Rodan and Fields, that's another MLM, and which, again, good products. I'm not knocking. I actually, wonderful products. I had my own personal issue with the business structure of MLM. I just want to plug that, which go to my blog. I'll explain more about why that is. But either way, no one had heard about Monat, so I was like, oh my gosh, this could really be a win for everybody. So I can really start getting on board and learning more about scalp and hair health, and helping my clients get the best results they can get, and dealing with damaged hair and dry scalp and skin issues and all these things. And I was like, and on top of that, have the wellness stuff on. I'm like, hey, get some greens in while you're at it, and collagen, because apparently that's beneficial. So I'll just say, I think I wanted to just take about 10 and 15 minutes and just explain what ended up happening with everything. And so all the online marketing that I had learned, I can now apply to this business and really just enjoy my clientele when they're with me in my chair. And if they have questions, we can talk about it, but then use my online marketing skills to send them to the digital world for their own learning, and in their own time when they want to and when they have questions, so that I'm not shoving anything down their throats either. That's the last thing I wanted. So all to say, I just really wanted to share that and how what led me here. And I'm very excited. I can't wait to see where this goes. And the biggest thing is my biggest why after saying all of that and saying like I really wanted to create a more profitable means of business and all of that, at the end of the day, the biggest thing I want to do is provide for my family and help others. Those are the two biggest things, because nothing else matters than your own family, right? And giving back to the world is nothing else is also more fulfilling. So those are my two biggest whys, even though focusing on my professional and financial piece of it, it's really led me to believe that, I've come this far in the past 20 years, personally and professionally, to be right where I'm at right now, to help the people around me personally and professionally. And I just want to be my best self so that I can give back to all the people that have given to me all throughout all these years. Not just my clientele, which I have already mentioned, but all of my friends and family who have been with me and cried with me and have been broken with me. And for that, I just want to give back. I'm just so grateful, and I'm really looking forward to the next months and years to come. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, get in touch with all the info, get on my email list, go to my website at angelashairsalon.com, and let's get connected and let's do this together. All right. Thanks guys for listening. Bye.